Are you struggling to start Rev Slayers in Skyblock? Don't know what gear to get or even how to start a quest? Well, look no further than this video. I'll be teaching you everything from starting a Slayer quest to killing your first tier 4 Revenant Horror. Make sure to like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into the guide. In this video, I'll show you how to start doing your Slayer quests, the gear you need to take on each individual tier of the Revenant Slayer, and some tips at the very end to increase your damage even further. Okay, so first things first, you need to know where to go to start your Slayer quest. So when you teleport to the village, you'll be right here, and you're going to want to go down here past the bank and the farming contest building, and you'll come up to this bar, and this is the Bar of Madness. Then you come down these stairs, and you have a mysterious man here, and his name is Maddox. So whenever you want to start a Slayer quest, you come up to Maddox, click Slayer, start a quest, and then you can pick Zombie or Wolf Slayer. We'll be doing Zombie Slayer for this video. And then you can go into the boss menu. So let's start at tier 1. As you can see, it's 2,000 coins to start the quest. And I can't see what I can drop from the boss just yet because I haven't killed one. Alright, now that you've started your quest, you can see on the right you need a certain amount of combat XP. And once you've gotten that amount of combat XP, the boss itself will spawn and you can kill it. So that's how to start your Slayer quests. What gear do you actually need to take these things down? Well, for a tier 1, all you're going to need is an undead sword. You can buy one here at the weaponsmith for 100 coins, or you can get one in the deep caverns by talking to the lift operator. You don't have to slap a lot of enchantments on this. I would just recommend smite and telekinesis. So let's head over to the graveyard and get this kill started. For tier 1s, you're literally just going to want to run around to all the zombies and just kill each and every one of them. You should be one-tapping them with a Smite 5 Undead Sword. I'm also doing this without any armor, but you could definitely get yourself a set of maybe iron or diamond armor if you don't want to die as easily to these guys. Alright, and you'll get a message when you're close to spawning the boss. We only need 3 more kills. Okay, 1 more kill to the boss spawns. I'm going to kill this guy over here. Walk up to him, hit him, and the animation starts for the boss. Run up to it, and just hit it. That's it. A tier 1 should not be difficult to kill at all. It should only take 1 to 2 hits, and you definitely shouldn't die. As you can see, I barely took any damage, and I have no armor. So it's insanely easy. Alright, that's tier 1 done. Now let's move on to tier 2. We're going to start a quest again, Zombie Slayer, and now, since we've killed a tier 1, we can now kill a tier 2. So let's go ahead and start that quest. Alright, to kill a tier 2 Revenant Horror, I put a couple better enchantments on the sword. As you can see, I upgraded to Smite 6. You can do this now, or you can do it when you go to kill tier 3s. I would recommend doing it now because the book is relatively cheap. You can get it for around 60k. And I've also slapped on First Strike for killing the zombies, Critical 5, and Giant Killer 5. You're also going to need a Wand of Healing that you unlock at Zombie Slayer level 2. It is crafted with 16 Revenant Flesh and a stick. And then for the armor, we have Hardened Diamond with Prot 5, Growth 5. Alright, just like last time, we're going to come back into the graveyard and start killing these guys again. As you can see, if you're going to kill the graveyard zombies to spawn at tier 2, it is going to take a while, over 204 kills. So what I would recommend is coming down into this mysterious looking cave over here. And this is called the Crypts. And in here, you'll find Crypt Ghouls. These are a lot stronger zombies, but will give you more combat XP towards your quests, with the trade-off of them being a lot harder to kill and dealing a lot more damage. As you can see with my sword, I do about 800 damage to them. And now, if we're killing these Crypt Ghouls, we only have to kill 45 of them to spawn a tier 2. I'd also recommend, if you're getting your kills stolen a lot, coming over to the lobby selector and just try and find a lobby with a low player count. So for example, there's a couple lobbies here with 0 players, so I'm going to travel to one of these, and then there won't be any competition for me trying to kill my revs. Alright, now that we're getting a little closer in kills, I would recommend coming up out of the crypt so you don't have to fight it with the super strong zombies down there, and just kill a couple of the weaker zombies to start your quest. Alright, now we're about to spawn the boss. Let's come into the last zombie here and spawn our Slayer boss. You just want to keep whacking him with your sword, and then as soon as you get low, switch to your wand and start healing. You should be able to take down the tier 2 without much issue. And there we go. It's also at this point in the game that you should start gathering some accessories to put in your accessory bag. The early game ones I would recommend are the 3 you can buy off the Adventure NPC, the Farm Talisman, the Wood Affinity Talisman, the Magnetic Talisman, the Night Vision Talisman, finally the Seal of the Oceans, which is a rare talisman that can be obtained from finishing the pirate quest in the park. I would highly recommend using Pew's video if you're stuck on how to complete that quest. Alright, now that we killed the 2-tier zombie, let's move on to the tier 3. For a tier 3, you're going to want to upgrade your undead sword to a Revenant Falchion. I'm borrowing this off of OneTap. It is extremely hypermaxed. I mean, this thing has Smite 6, a bunch of different enchantments here. You got Giant Killer, you got First Strike 4, Thunderlord, Experience. The most important ones here are Execute, Giant Killer, and Smite. Definitely make sure you have those on yours. You can upgrade your Wand of Healing to a Wand of Mending. I'd also recommend, if you're finding it difficult to kill the boss, get yourself to Wolf Slayer level 2 and craft a Radiant Power Orb. That'll just give you some extra healing throughout the fight. And then up here on the armor, I've upgraded my leggings and my boots, both to Revenant. You can also see behind me, I've purchased a pet. I've purchased an Epic Zombie pet. The perk that's really important from the Epic Zombie is Rotten Blade, which the more you level up the pet, the more % damage you will deal to zombies. So that's why it's so important to get yourself a zombie pet for doing tier 3s. And that's the setup. Let's go kill a tier 3. Okay, we almost have the zombie spawned here. It's important when you're killing tier 3s, unlike tier 1s and 2s, so make sure you're standing up against a wall like this. The reason you want to stand up against a wall is to make the boss as easy as possible for you to hit, and also so you don't get knocked around the place. Alright, we're about to spawn the boss here, so let's just spawn her in. And hop into a corner. I forgot to do this before I spawned the boss, but you're going to want to place down your Radiant Power Orb, just for that extra little bit of healing. Alright, this is going well. Just want to make sure you're watching your HP and just keep hitting it. And there we go. That's the tier 3 dead. Alright, we're back on the main for this one because my alt account did not have the requirements to use a Reaper Falchion. To kill a tier 4, you're going to want your Epic Zombie pet again. You're also going to want to upgrade your sword to a Reaper Falchion. This does require Zombie Slayer level 6, so it'll take a little bit of grinding, but you should be able for it. And then your full Rev armor. I'm using a Slime Mask because my damage on this account is ridiculous. This is my main account. So on your head, you would probably want to be wearing a Crystallized Heart or a Revived Heart because it doubles your vitality and your mending and lets you get better healing off of your wands. Also at this point, I would recommend you buy a piggy bank, obviously because you don't want to lose your coins if you do end up dying to a Slayer boss. Alright, I got enough kills to spawn the tier 4, so here we go. Place down your Power Orb and start whacking. Make sure to let the Rev hit you. And there we go. Are you kidding me? Why does this always happen when I'm doing Slayer guides? Now, like I said, my stats are a bit crazy on this profile. I'm at combat 48. I've got a bunch of other stuff. So my damage is going to be a lot higher than you guys, but hopefully you'll be able to take down your tier 4 for the first time using the stuff that I told you to use. And now I'm going to tell you guys a couple other tips you can use to increase your damage even further. Alright, first up is talismans. You're going to want to have as many talismans as possible and as large of an accessory bag as possible. As you can see here, I have a bunch of slots. You won't have this much if you're just starting out, but it's important to make sure you have as many slots as possible. I'd recommend 21 probably before attempting your first tier 4. And obviously you won't have all of these legendary talismans, but you can use the ones that I recommended earlier. And you can add on a couple more like the Emerald Ring, the Cake Slice is pretty easy to get, and the Fire Devourer or Extinguisher are pretty easy to get. Next up is Reforges. As you can see on the armor I was using for the video, I had Pure on for extra attack speed and extra crit chance because my alt was not 100 crit chance. If you are on 100 crit chance, still use Pure for the attack speed. Once you get 100 crit chance without Sharp, I would recommend switching to either Fast or Spicy. Spicy for damage and Fast for way higher attack speed. And lastly, make sure you're leveling up your pet a lot. Pets get exponentially harder to level up as you level them up further and further and further. So it will take a while to get your pet to level 100, but I highly recommend it. Also, one final little tip, I would recommend grabbing yourself a ghoul pet on the auction house or use it if you drop it while grinding a Zombie Slayer. As you can see, Undead Slayer grants 38 combat wisdom against zombies. Yours won't do that much, but it is such a help if you swap between Ghoul for spawning and Zombie for killing. Alright, and that's the end of the guide. If you think I missed anything, make sure to comment it down below. And if you have any advice for other people who are just starting out on their Revenant Slayer grind, comment them some advice too. And that's about it for the video. Please like and subscribe. As you all know, 500 million coin giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. So subscribe and make sure to be there to win some coins. Also, the Black Friday sale is now on the CraftersMC store until December 1st. If you are thinking of buying ranks or gems, please use my code TroublesToGo at TabX checkout. It helps support me as a creator. I also recently opened a Discord server. The link for that will be down in the description. And with that, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.